Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. Today we are talking about Major Blood 166 in the classified line. Thank you everybody for joining me. I am Super Dave, or if you'd like David, either way. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat today. We have G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17 right out of the gate. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. So Major Blood is an interesting one because this is the second Major Blood that we've gotten in the classified line. It's kind of a I don't know what you would call this, like a redeco of Major Blood, a some sort of like promissory reissue of Major Blood, because the first version of Major Blood was a Cobra Island exclusive Target figure, and it was extremely hard to get. It was one of those early figures that was an exclusive to Target, and it was a hard figure to get. Now I'm pretty sure you can get it because I've seen it in a lot of conventions quite prevalently. So if you're still looking for that one, I think you should be able to get it if you go to some of the toy conventions. But at the time, it was a difficult figure to make, so maybe they did a re-release of it and another run of it, so more of them could get out. But it was a tricky one. Those Cobra Island figures, a lot of them were very difficult to get. Some of them were very easy to get, like the Roadblock, the heavy duty Roadblock was an easy one to get. Firefly, Viper, Major Blood were all difficult to find, although. Good morning, Backwoods 78. Good morning, Super Dave. Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us again in the chat. So Major Blood, they gave us a second one in 2025, and it was, I don't know, I don't understand it a little bit. I thought maybe we were going to get a retro carded Major Blood, which makes sense because last year was the year of Mass Device, and there were a lot of retro style figures from the Mass Device miniseries, with Mass Device Snake Eyes, Mass Device Breaker, the Divers, Ketchum and Mustard, Cover Girl. So I thought, okay, it's pretty obvious we're going to probably get a Major Blood in that. But it turned out they put the Major Blood in the main line, and they did not put it in a retro card. So I think that ticked off a lot of people because they wanted a much more retro carded version of him. Good morning, Clement. Thanks for joining us again today. Hello. So were you guys able to get the first Major Blood or the second Major Blood, and which one do you like the most out of the two Major Bloods thus far? And do you think we may get an actual retro carded Major Blood, another deco of this figure that is very, very close to the other two figures? I don't know if there's a need for it, but I know that people want it. Major Blood was a cool figure. What they should have done is given him working robot arm and not this the stiff arm like the 1983 one had. Interesting. I want a Major Blood for the Super 7 line with a working robot arm. Oh, very cool. Well, they did do a Super 7 Major Blood. I don't think it had a movable arm, though. An Ultimate Super 7 version of Major Blood, but I don't believe it has a moving arm. But it's exactly like it was in Sunbow and the Vintage Toy. They merged the two and came up with a perfectly beautiful Sunbow design and aesthetic for that Major Blood, but it does not have a movable arm. I love that figure. He was one of my first figures I got at Christmas. Ah, so he's one of your favorite characters. I gotcha. All right. Well, I understand that. Good morning, 610 Yo Joe Daddy. Thanks for joining us. What's up, Super Dave? What's up, fellas? Y'all smash that like button and subscribe. Yes. Thank you very much. Sharing these videos is the number one thing that can really help the channel out. So I'm pretty sure everybody else has gotten the subscriptions and has already hit that like button and probably already has the notification when I go live on these videos. But sharing at the moment is the best thing you can do to help this channel grow. We're on our way to 250 subs, and we're on our way to 300 episodes. So we're doing very well. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me, and 610 Yo Joe Daddy as well. So we're going to go into the history of Major Blood. First, we have to go to, you guessed it, Dan Klingensmith series of books. This is volume number 1, Creating G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero by Dan Klingensmith Jr. All right, so Major Blood, here we go. Vintage Major Blood with the robotic arm there. And a lot of turnarounds and stuff on that page over there. You can see a lot of that stuff there, and different ideations and things like that. It's probably hard to see with this lighting, but I'll do the best I can so for you guys. You see all those there over there? It's hard. All right, so alternate names: Major Chill. Year release 1983, designed by Ron Rudat. Ron Rudat designed most figures from 1982 to 1986 or 7, with the exception of a handful of vehicle drivers and a couple odds and ends. Wearing the dog tags of the Joes, he has exterminated. Major Blood was a ruthless member of Cobra. To protect himself from the heat generated from his rocket pistol, Ron gave him body armor on his arm as well as his chest. To make him a more sinister-looking character, Ron pulled from his childhood memories when it came to mysteries and dark characters and gave Blood an eye patch. So that's really cool because he's a mercenary, so it makes sense that he would have some difficulty with some of his quarries when he was hunting them down. So it makes sense he would have damages and injuries and so on and so forth. He's got a missing arm and he's got a damaged eye. And if you're following the Skybound comics, Major Blood, spoiler alert, gets his eye poked out in the Skybound comics, and he gets injured pretty badly during Skybound. So that's an interesting connection there in Skybound. And then, not to spoil anything, but if you've ever seen the movie, the Resolute G.I. Joe movie, Major Blood gets killed off in there. He may also get killed off in IDW. I'm not sure, but he's always getting injured. He's always getting killed. He's been killed off several times, and he's a character that's prone to injury, I guess, because he's in the front line and he's fighting the Joes, and he's just in that position that he can get injured more often, I guess. Good morning, Bobby World. They should have waited 2 months before the release of Major Blood so they could have offered an alternate head to match what happens in the EU comics. Yeah, Energon Universe. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I do. I agree with you on that, Bobby World. But sometimes the synergy doesn't always work. They're trying. I think Skybound is trying to keep the synergy with Classified, because there's a whole new release set of covers that were released for 22, 23, and 24 that have to do with Crystal Ball, and that connects to the whole Crystal Ball thing and the gyre technology. So we'll have to wait for that, but they try. They don't always get it, but they do try. I thought the Raptor story was really good. That also connected to the Major Blood. It was using the new design of Raptor, and Ro-Pig was really good. And so they're doing their best. It's not always going to line up, though, I don't think. Hello, everyone. Joe Daddy, how's it going? Everybody, hello. Dude Stuff, thanks for joining us. Good morning. So then we're going to go into his vintage package. So here's his vintage package. there. Major Blood. Try to get that without that light there next to Snow Job. You can see very, very cool looking character. I think he may have been a mail order, if I'm not mistaken, in the early 80s. Maybe in 82, he might have been a mail order. I'm not 100%. Can't recall, but a lot of the figures were mail order first. Like Cobra Commander was a mail order. Duke was a mail order. I think Major Blood was a mail order. Then he gets his first appearance in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue 17. They're trying to attack, it looks like Grunt on that motorcycle there. I'm pretty sure. And then it's obviously his first appearance was in the Mass Device miniseries in Sunbow. And so that is where he first appears in animation. Yes, he was a mail away figure as well. Yep, there you go. Correct. Major Blood was a mail order figure. Yep. All right. Carlos Salinas, good morning. Thanks for joining us again. All right. So I'm not going to bring the vintage figure up because I already did that when I showcased this one. So I'm going to showcase this one a little bit. I like this figure. I think it's a perfectly good figure. It's very vintage inspired. I don't know. Maybe that's why we didn't get the Sunbow Mass Device Major Blood. If you look at him compared to the other Mass Device figures, he does kind of look like a Mass Device version of Major Blood. He's just not as animation deco heavy, I guess. He's got the robot arm, and this robot arm does move, by the way. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17, it does move. It has articulation, it has a lot of movement and everything. So they did do one that has a movable arm already. Good morning, you guys. Excuse me why I gnash on these blueberry pancakes. Okay, New York Knights. If you can do that, then I can just sip my smoothie. But it's pretty close. I don't think it's necessary to do another figure. If we were going to do that other figure, it should have already been done. But this one's pretty close. He has those the dog tags, which I really like, to showcase his kills and his people that he's captured or damaged or what have you. Did you see in the 1990s? Did you see in the 1990s, could be 92, in the Chinese line, they had a very nice looking Major Blood. Yeah, that's the fun thing about international stuff. They have a lot of beautiful figures in some of those international. I'm eyeing that spirit from Palitoy, the I think it was the Night Force spirit from Palitoy, and I'm eyeing the Indian version of Cesspool that look really beautiful. And a lot of the packages are really something. Some of the paint apps on some of those international are absolutely terrible, but some are pretty good. It's just a hit and miss type of situation in international when it comes to international, but I like a lot of the Chinese packaging. It's one of my favorite packaging designs for vintage GI Joes. I have the Chinese 1992 Storm Shadow. Yeah, aren't those packages phenomenal? God, I wish we had those packages for US. I think the Canada packages were a little closer to the Chinese packaging. Not quite, but they're a little bit closer from American to Canada to Chinese. Like you can follow the lineage of the package design that way. And it's really, really something. It's one of my favorite designs of packaging. All right, so now we're going to get to Major Blood. You can see he's very grizzled. He's very intent on getting his job done. He's 166 in the classified line, and we started with 00 Snake Eyes, and now we're up to 166. We've done 22 vintage and retro carded figures thus far, and we've done 5 60th anniversary, and legacy figures so far. So we're doing very good. That brings us up to about, and then we also had some odds and end running variants and Fortnite figures. So that gives us to about 100 figures right now. I would say 200 figures with everything that they've done over the years, up to 2025, about 200 figures. What's going on? Hey, Strictly Cobra. We're just going over the history of Major Blood. So then we have the designations and the target artwork and the QR code. And we're going to cover the QR code right now and see what, or I should say designations, not QR code, designations to see what he has. He's a mercenary. He's got the money symbol with the crossbones on it. He's got the missile, which I think is arms dealer, launcher. He's got the chess, which is strategist, and then he's got the two gears, which I think is I think the gears are mercenary, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see them on here. No. So there's your designations for Major Blood. And so then we have the Shooting the Galaxy artwork. And you can see in the background right there a snake armor. So they're trying to mimic the mass device because they had him fighting in the Arctic trying to get that mass device element. And there were snake armors in that sequence as well. So it's interesting that they are doing a callback to that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else back there. I don't see anything else back there, but I do like this artwork. It looks really, really nice. They do such a good job with those photography artworks, in my opinion. G.I. Joe 66 Deltas, hello. New York Knights, 1974. Think we'll ever get the other Major Bloods 91 and 94 version? I think so. The 91 and 94 are distinctly different variations. So if they want to keep the popular characters in this line, similar to what they're doing with Snake Eyes and Cobra Commander, we've gotten a handful of Roadblocks. We've gotten a handful of Storm Shadows. We've gotten several Destros. We'll probably get another Destro coming soon. We've gotten several Baronesses, several Zartans. We may be on our fifth Zartan coming out soon. There's been a handful of Scarlets, Dukes. So I think he's a major enough villain, pun intended, that we will get more of him. The fact that people are clamoring for a retro style, which I don't think we need, but I think we could get both of those because they're very distinctly different figures. And that would keep more redecos of characters and reuse of parts and so on and so forth. So I don't think it'll be soon. It'll be every maybe couple years you get another Major Blood, because obviously he was in year one of the classified line. He was like 19 or 17 or something like that, and then we didn't get this one, and this is 166, so it was like at least 3 or 4 years later. So we may get another one. It might be another couple years, so we just got to wait and see, but I do believe we will. Carlos Salinas, or New York Knights, sorry. Carlos Salinas, there was also a Python Patrol Major Blood, so we haven't seen the last of him. Correct. There's a Python Patrol Major Blood in the 2000s as well. So there's 3 more distinct Major Bloods that could be released if the Hasbro classified team had the inclination to do so. Dave, you said you had a few first wave card backs, you might would sell me. Where did you say to message you? Oh, Strictly Cobra. You can message me at David T. Allen on Messenger from Facebook. And then I will let you know. I will also have them all at my show in Florida. The Senflo Joe show in Florida is April 19th in Deltona, Florida. And I will be selling all my duplicate quadruples and duplicates of all my classified. I'm going to just keep the ones that I'm opening and then one set of sealed. So I will sell the rest of them there at the show. And I'll be pretty reasonable at the show for people that go to the show. So if you're in the Florida, Southern Alabama, Southern Georgia area, and you would like to come to a really nice G.I. Joe event, the Senflo Joe show would be a nice opportunity. It's one day. It's on a Sunday, the 19th. It's after Easter, and it's going to be nice out in Florida during April. You can come bring your family on vacation, spring break. You can go to Disney. You can go to Universal Epic Lands. You can go to Cape Canaveral. Maybe there'll be a SpaceX launch or something you can watch. Go to the beach. It'll be beautiful. So then you can come to my show on a Sunday and have a nice, enjoyable G.I. Joe day while your family is enjoying all the beautiful things in Florida. So there's an opportunity for you. Strictly Cobra. Thank you. I need all of them except Lady J and Baroness. Is TGE cards in good shape? Yeah, that's the tricky part, is trying to get the vintage cards in good shape. I'm not going to say that mines are like mint. I've tried to keep the best ones out of the ones that I've gotten, because I got 3 or 4 of each of those when I was getting them, and I kept the best one for myself for my own collection, and then I opened one of each of them when we did those figures in this series. So I would take pictures and show you, or if you're at the convention, you can look at them. Sorry, I got you off topic. Excuse me for that. I have most of the major bloods. I just need one more. Okay. Sorry about that, Glitz. What's good, everybody? Same time toys. Hello. All right. So then we have the figure and its loadout and Cobra Sigil and Major Blood there. So we're going to get him out of the package. We're going to get into this. Same time toys is going to be joining me Monday night on the 16th. To talk about all the New York Toy Fair reveals and exclusives and so on and so forth. So make sure you guys join me Monday night at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. Cobra symbol on the interior of the package. Put that down there. And then we have Major Blood and his loadout there. So if you guys want to join us to talk about all the new classified reveals and G.I. Joe information from Toy Fair, make sure you join me and Sometime Toys on that. I can't. It's going to be a blast. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it myself. So we may get another reveal today. Make sure you guys are keeping tabs on the reveal of the Big Apple toy store reveal with Larry Hama. If you're in the New York area, go to Big Apple Toys in downtown Times Square to see Larry Hama, get some comics signed, and also find out what that reveal of that character is going to be, that new classified reveal from Hasbro and Larry Hama. Dave, how much is your figures going to be on Facebook? What are you talking about, Clement? I don't understand. I'm not selling anything on Facebook. So there's your Major Blood. You can see that he's a lot different than the previous Major Blood in the deco. There's a lot more reds. There's a lot more blacks in there. This one is much more vintage inspired, whereas this one's more newer, updated, classified inspired. So there you go. Um, it's supposed to be streamed on Whatnot. Okay. Well, that's very cool. Thank you for letting me know that. It's on October Guard Cowboy. It's an October Guard Cowboy. LOL. You think so? You think it's an October Guard Cowboy? GI Joe 66 Delta 17. I think it's going to be Don Moreno. That's my gut feeling. But we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. It'll be this evening sometime. It'll be after the signing, from what I understand. The signing is at 4:30, and then it'll be after that. So there's all kinds of really cool deco details, reds and blacks and silvers, with all kinds of little uh, steel and things all over this figure. And they really did that new face print up really nice with that eye. They gave it a much more classified, I would say, EU Energon Universe Major Blood face print on that, with the scars and everything on his face. It looks really, really nice, I must say. Very, very cool version of Major Blood. He's got a 4 o'clock shadow. He's got a lot of scars on him. There's a lot of little bits of red and silver on the armor, where it was mostly black and fairly new. He's also got that that mercenary tampo there. He's got a lot of detail on the back as well, damages and stuff. This is almost like a battle damage Major Blood. He's really, really cool. And they gave the his leg gauntlets there a little bit more damage and a little bit more steel color. The same with his arm gauntlet there, and updated a lot of the details to this figure. Maybe Tombstone. You never know. I really think it's a Joe character. I know that for a fact. The internal code word name is Enforcer, and she's gonna be, or the figure is gonna be part of the 5-figure mainline wave that will be going up for pre-order probably next week, I would guess, the same time as the Royal Guard, which the Royal Guard goes up for pre-order next week on Tuesday. All right, so let's get into. He's got the same articulation as the first one, the butterflied shoulders. He's got the shoulder pauldron that kind of covers that, and there's a little bitty like details, some gears and stuff back there you can see in the shoulder. He's got the double pinned elbows, the double pinned knees, the foot rocker, the secondary ankle, the thigh and calf articulations, the crotch and waist leg articulation, the ab crunch, the head rocker articulation, the wrist articulation, and the secondary wrist articulation with the bendy one, but he does not have the secondary twisty wrist one. So there you go. Those are all your articulation points for Major Blood. All right. Hey, Michael Gene Fleming, coming in a little late. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. GI Joe 66 Delta 17. If only Super 7 could make the Major Blood figure with a removable helmet and his Cobra Blue outfit. Yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe they'll do a redeco of that Major Blood. They already did. Or maybe they'll do a Reaction Plus version of Major Blood, because they are doing different versions from the comics and the cartoons. So that's a possibility, because he looks totally different than the figure that we got as a vintage figure. So that may be something there at 66 Delta 17, like in the cartoon. Yep. All right, so let's look at some of the gear he comes with. First off, we're going to look at his dog tags. There you go. Another set. No deco on these, whereas the other one, there's a little bit of a wash, a metal wash on them. This one does not have that. It's just like a paint, just a silver plastic. So there's no deco. They skimped on that a little bit on that part. I want a Major Blood made by Super 7 with Bat's arm could change out attachments. It's a missed opportunity by Super 7. That is very cool. I think you're right about that, GI Joe 66 Delta 17. That would be kind of nifty, wouldn't it? But we are getting Overkill, so maybe they'll do something like that with him. So then we have the Major Blood helmet. It looks like it's the same helmet. They just added a wash. Where they took the wash off the dog tags, they added a wash on the helmet, and it's much like a steel wash there. All right, so then you have the backpack, and then you have a bunch of missiles, and so we'll put the missiles. Now, I did something weird with my missiles because I was very upset. I kept losing the missiles; they kept falling off. So I taped the backpack so the missiles wouldn't fall out. So you kind of have the missiles on there, but they're taped because I was upset they kept falling, and I didn't want to lose them. So I may end up doing that with this one as well. So let me put them on the backpack, and we'll see if they stay in there. Let's see. Right. All right. So I have the missiles on the backpack. There it comes with the 2 missiles. It's all black. There's no deco. The missiles have no deco as well. So I'm going to put that on his back there, and we'll see how it looks. There. And I'm going to put the... See, I already lost a missile. So that's why I'm going to put a little tape on it. I already lost one of his missiles. Now I got to put it back on because it fell off. Oh boy. Don't fall. Oh, man. I lost that missile. I got it back. Whew. I was very lucky on that. All right, I'm putting the missile back on. I'm going to try to put some tape on it so it stays. On the backpack, and then put the helmet back on because the helmet fell off. There, all right. So I have the missiles and the backpack on there. There you go. On his back. And I have some tape on. I want overkill for Super 7 line for sure. 66 Delta 17. Major Blood's arms was supposed to be armor so he could shoot his missile pistol. It wasn't a robotic arm until recently. Oh, okay. Same Time Toys. Very interesting. They have 3 versions of overkill in the original waves. Yep, they definitely do. You're right about that. There was a Sound Attack one, and then there was another one, and then I think the 2000s had the one with the shamak over his face and stuff like that. So yeah, there was definitely some different versions of overkill. And I like, personally, my favorite overkill is the one from Sigma 6, which he's much more larger, and he's got all these bat arms and legs. He's a really, really cool version of him. That's my favorite version. All right, so there you go. So now we have a couple of weapons that we can take out for accessories. There. We have this one that is a weird laser gun with a little silver deco and a little red deco on the hilt there. I don't think I've ever seen this gun. I don't think that's... Yeah, I guess it's the same gun that came with the first one. It is. It just looks so weird that it doesn't look familiar to me, but it is the same one. He's got the same gun. And then he has his familiar gun, his laser pistol there from Sunbow as well. And that's the same as the vintage, the one that he has in the previous version as well. So I'm going to switch the guns out because I have this one holding the other gun, and I have that big gun in his holster. So I'm going to put in this one, I'm going to put the other gun, and I'm going to give him that big gun to hold since it has a little red in it. So I'm going to switch that so I have a different version of the gun that he's holding in each figure. So it makes the figure a little bit different. And there is a little bitty tab on this gun as well, where it attaches to the arm, where you can have it as a laser arm or whatever. Instead of a missile arm, it has a laser arm on it. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that connects there to the arm. See that little doodad there? You can stick the gun in there and it attaches if you want. If you don't want, then you don't have to. So I think that was a compromise in their thinking, that they didn't have the missile launcher, but they did have the laser gun where you could attach it. So then I'm going to give him this big gun there. So that does it for the accessories. Well, I always thought his arm was robotic. It is robotic. It is robotic. He lost his arm, so it can they can do that with it, I guess. Make it automated. So I'm going to put a stand on him, and we'll get him going, and we'll see what he looks like all put together. All right, so there. So there you go. There's Major Blood for this next wave. There's a lot of like washes all over this figure. And it really gives it more of a 3D effect with the wash. I love a lot of the washes that they're doing. You can't hardly see it with this lighting, but there's a lot of washes over all the metal to give them a little bit more worn type style, and the same with a lot of the armaments and things like that. On him, there's that wash. It's also on the feet with some of the metal details that are on the feet. There's some washes, some steel washes there. I love how they add those washes to give it a different aesthetic to these figures. There's a figure that's going to be coming up very shortly that they did that with, that really makes it pop for me. I think they're getting much better with the paint apps, and Tony is a fantastic paint engineer for these figures. Tony Colella, who's in the classified Hasbro team. And he would be the first handicapped action figure in the G.I. Joe line. Handicapped, yes, not disabled. Snake Eyes came first because he's scarred and he's damaged from his Vietnam days and car accidents and whatever else prior to joining the G.I. Joe team. So he's the first like injured Joe or character, toy character. I'm trying to think. Scarface had a scar. Cobra Commander, we don't know what's underneath that mask, if he's damaged or what have you. In Sunbow, he's a denizen of Cobra La, so he was just blown up at Cobra La, and he ended up putting the helmet on because he didn't look very good, and so he was damaged. So yeah, but yeah, you're right. I think Major Blood is the first fully handicapped character. There have been new characters in recent years with Malto, I think, or Sherlock, one of those two, that Larry created that's a disabled character that has a robotic leg and so on. And then there's other characters with other disabilities. So G.I. Joe has a lot of disability or medical problems with a lot of their universe with their characters, which I like. I think that makes it much more realistic that they have all that stuff. Let's see, and he would be the yep. Okay, so yesterday I kind of jumped the gun and I thought I was doing a Dreadnought today, but it turned out I wasn't, and it blood. So tomorrow is another Dreadnought character, but it's probably the best Dreadnought character figure, maybe not the character, but the figure, the best figure that the classified line has ever released. In my opinion, it's very close up there with another one that came out the same year, another Dreadnought that came out before this. That was fantastic. So that'll be in our next video, and then we'll have some news to talk about. And there's a possibility we may be going live this afternoon, Toy Talk Live, this afternoon after the reveal of that classified figure with my co-hosts Terry Roon and Dan Thompson on Toy Talk Live this evening through Action Media. So keep an eye out for that. And I already talked about the Send Flow Joe show a little bit, but I will talk about it a little bit more. So we have Mark Pennington, designer of the G.I. Joe vintage line from 87 to 89. We're going to also have Adam Riches, package designer, comic book artist, Jason Mark Sobel, comic book cover artist and comic book artist. We're going to have toy designer and painter Matt LaCroix with Strike Force Alpha. We're going to have author Roger Taft with After Action Report. We're going to have comic book publisher Hawk Saunders for Rising Sun Comics will be there. We'll have a Joe Fest booth. I will have a booth. We'll have the Finest, the G.I. Joe costuming organization will also be in attendance at the show as well. It is April 19th. The Send Flow Joe show at Deltona, the center at Deltona in Florida. Let's see. Row Pig, yeah, he's got bipolar. Yep. Torch. Torch has got. Does he have some damage, some medical problems? I'm not sure. I know some of them have some psychological problems, but I don't know about medical problems. Oh, yeah, I used Terry's images of Super 7. I hope he doesn't mind. I gave him credit, and I don't make money on my other channel. That's perfectly fine. 66. As long as you call out someone and give them credit for Action Media, that's perfectly fine. We do the same thing when we use something for somebody. We call them out and give them credit. It's just fair use, and it's respect for our fellow YouTubers and fellow Joe Bros in this toy tuber community. So you're perfectly fine there. And we both don't like It's Chad channel. LOL. Oh boy. Okay. I like Chad. I think Chad's a nice guy. He's got some interesting politics that I don't get into, so it doesn't bother me, and we don't have a clash or anything. But I do like Chad as a person, and I like the fact that he's served us, our country, and his time in the U.S. Military, and I thank him for that service. So I do have respect for him. But we don't have to always agree on our politics. So I try to keep away from politics with this channel, and so that's why we do good here. Yep, I did mention Action Media for sure. Okay, great. So I think that's going to cover us for today. Is there anything else that you guys would like to know about Major Blood? Major Blood! Yeah, Cobra Commander! I'll get those G.I. Joes! I can't do that Cockney accent as well as I can do the Cobra Commander accent. But I really like this figure. I think it's a really nice upgrade. The browns are a lot different as well. They're darker browns. And then on this one, there's a little bitty tampo on the first version. On this side, there on his armor that says Mars Industries, which is a Destro call out. And then this one has the mercenary tampo on that arm. So there's a lot of differences. Yeah, they use the same buck and mold and stuff, but there's a lot of differences. They both look distinctly different. But I do like them both. Great show as always. Thank you very much, Same Time Toys. I very much appreciate it. Delta, this is a drama-free zone. Save it for your channel. Yep. Thank you very much. Same Time Toys. So thank you very much, Same Time Toys. I appreciate it. And yes, this is a drama-free zone. We just talk about toys. We talk about G.I. Joe. We talk about having fun and enjoying this brand. That is what we do here. Strictly Cobra. This is the best channel. Never nothing negative to say. Always helping people, and you actually talk toys. Good stuff, Dave. Thank you very much, Strictly Cobra. I really much appreciate that, and it means a lot to me to hear you say that. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we're not gonna highlight that comment because we're not gonna be negative to anybody in the armed forces. The fact that they put their lives on the line for us is all that matters to me. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. This is a big Cobra video, so we're gonna go Hail Cobra! We'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.